Hey everyone, and welcome. Are you ready to get really good at talking about time in English? It's something we do all day, every day, and I'm going to show you how to make it super, super easy.
So, have you ever wondered, how do we actually do it? How do we say exactly when something is happening? You know, if you want to talk about your birthday, or what time your favorite show is on, or when summer vacation starts, what words do you actually need?
Well, believe it or not, it's actually pretty simple. It all comes down to these three little magic words: at, on, and in. Seriously, once you get the hang of these three, talking about time is going to be a piece of cake.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to start small, with the most specific times using at. Then, we'll zoom out a little for days and dates with on. After that, we'll get into the biggest chunks of time with in. And then, to wrap it all up, we'll practice together to make sure it all sticks. Sound good? Let's do it. All right, first up is the word at. I want you to think of at like a tiny little dot, like a point on a map. We use it for the most exact, most specific moments in time. So, the number one rule to remember is this. We use at for clock time, like when you look at your watch. We also use it for a few other special moments, like noon, midnight, and night.
Let's try one out loud. Go ahead and say this with me. School starts at 9 o'clock. Awesome. See? You're talking about a very specific time on the clock.
Okay, how about another one? Try saying this: we watch TV at night. Perfect. Night is one of those special words that always goes with at. You're getting it. So let's pull it all together. You can see here we use at for those exact clock times, for noon and midnight, and even for meal times like lunchtime. It's all about those super precise moments.
Okay, let's move on to our next word. We're zooming out from a tiny point in time to something a little bigger, a whole day. And for that, we need the word on. The rule here is really straightforward. If you're talking about a day of the week, like Friday, or a specific date on the calendar, like October 31st, you're going to use the word on. Let's try an example. Go ahead and say this one. I play baseball on Thursdays. Nice. You're using on because Thursday is a specific day of the week. So what about a full date? Let's try it. Say this sentence. She has class on September 10. You got it. That's the perfect way to use on for a date. This little chart sums it up perfectly. We use on for days of the week, for the weekend, for specific dates, and for special days like your birthday. So here's the key thing to remember. If it's one whole day, you're probably going to use on. All right, you ready for our last magic word? We've done tiny points with at, and we've done single days with on. Now we need a word for the really big blocks of time. For that, we get inside of in. Yeah, I want you to think of in like it's a big box. You can fit lots of time inside it. We use in for long periods, like months, seasons, and whole years. We also use it for parts of the day, like the morning or the afternoon. Let's look at an example. Say this one with me. I study in the morning. Exactly. The morning isn't just 1 second, it's a longer period of time, so it goes in the box. And what about a whole season? Let's try this one. We go camping in the summer. Fantastic. Summer is a long season, so of course we use in. And this final summary really shows it all. You can see we use in for those parts of the day, for entire months like June, for seasons, and for whole years. It's our go-to word for all the big containers of time.
Okay, you've learned all the rules for at, on, and in. So now it is time to put what you've learned to the test. Let's practice together.
Here's the first one. The next school year starts, September, okay? Think about it. Is September a clock time, a day, or a month? Which word do we need? It's in September. Yes! That's because September is a month, which is one of those longer periods of time. Fantastic job.
All right, let's try one more. They watch TV night. Do you remember that special rule we had about night? What was it?
The correct answer is at night. You got it. Remember, night is one of those special, specific moments that always uses at. You are really getting the hang of this.
Okay, and for the last one, it's all you. Think about your own life. What is something you will do on the weekend? You did an amazing job today. Thanks for practicing with me, and I'll see you next time.